Hi, my name's Laura Batante. This is My Two Bits, and today I have this Halloween ornament for you. This is a little skull, and he is, of course, translucent. So he's perfect for hanging in a window or, in front of a light source. And also, on the template, I have two sizes for you. So this is, of course, the smaller one, and you could make it even smaller if you were one of those really giant fans of Halloween who actually have a Halloween tree. This is a nice fun size. However, for working with kids for cutting skills, I'm going to recommend going with this bigger size. So that's the one I'm going to show you today. I'm going to make it double-sided like this, but you don't have to. You can absolutely make it even easier and just go single-sided. Okie doke. So for materials, you need the template. It's right there in the video notes. You need black cardstock, and I'm using some tracing paper. Tissue paper would work, or if you're not worried about it being translucent, white paper will work too. Scissors, paper clips, a single hole punch, and some glue, and that's it. So I am going to do a double-sided one, and so I've taken my 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock and I've folded it, and I've trimmed it out, as you can see, not perfectly, but just so that I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to attach it with the paper clips, and I'm going to use a fair amount of these because it's not too bad when you're cutting the outside, but once you start cutting out the inside, it gets a little on the flimsy side. And so in order to have really good control, you're going to want to keep the paper clips on. Now, what I'm going to do right now is trim away some of this. And of course, I'm going to save my leftovers. You can always use those for a collage project. All right, and now I'm going to pop on a few more paper clips. Okay, so just pick a spot anywhere you like. Now I have this side is secured with the fold, so I'm going to probably start over here, and I'll just take that off for now. And remember, when you're cutting, we're turning the paper with the hand that is not holding the scissors. So we're doing a nice smooth cut with our scissors, and we're turning. That's how we get a nice smooth cut. And once we get that done, we'll pop that on, and we're going to just do that all the way around. So cut all the way around the outside. I just want to give you a little tip for cutting along the bottom here. I am going to cut basically right across. It's not a straight line, but I'm ignoring those divots. Now I'm going to take my hole punch and go in and put the top of that curve on. Do I have to do that? Nope, I do not. But if you want to make it a little bit easier on yourself, you can try that. And that's not the only reason that we have the hole punch. I do want to say that it doesn't matter if you are 100% on my lines. All right, so I have the outside cut out. I've still got my paper clips on. And again, I am doing two. So if you're only cutting one, it's a little bit easier to cut than cutting through two pieces of cardstock. If you want to see how your cuts are coming along, flip it over. It's much easier to tell. And if you don't like an edge, you can always go in and just touch that up. So now we're going to do the inside. So we have to cut all of this out. We don't want to cut through this, obviously, but the easiest way to get started on a project like this is to make yourself a little space for your scissors. So I've just cut myself in a little spot, and then I can go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. You just want to be able to get your scissors in and around. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this out, the part that I need to save. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And I'm going to pop a couple of paper clips on there because I want those to stay on top of each other because we're cutting out doubles of that as well. All right, and now, like I said, make sure you keep lots of paper clips on this thing. You don't want it moving around on you. So another thing that you can do with your hole punch right here is when you get down farther, you can do these inside corners if you found that helpful. If you didn't, then don't worry about it. And so now I'm going to cut this hole inside out, and we'll meet back up. Okay, so I have mine all cut out and it looks pretty good, so I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to put that aside, and now I'm going to do my eyes. So same thing, I want to keep, I'm going to make sure I have a paper clip on each one. I just want to keep it nicely together because I want both sides to be the same. And I'm going to leave that together until we actually need it because it just makes it a little easier to work with. And I'll finish this up and we will put it all together. Here's what I'm going to recommend you do. We don't need that. I'm going to take it apart. And this top one I'm going to flip the way it would go back on and just leave it there to the side. And now I'm going to take my tracing paper and you can see that it's the right size. So if you haven't cut yours yet, then go ahead and maybe draw with a pencil around quite wide just to make sure you have enough actual material to work with. And then I'm going to actually glue my frame. That's why I have it on this paper here. You don't need tons. Don't get crazy with the glue. All right. And then we're going to lay that on top like so. While we're letting that dry, we're going to put on the features on this side. So I'm going to, oh, look at that little spot right there. I don't love it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. These are different enough that you don't really have to worry about being able to match them up. Obviously, one eye is considerably bigger than the other. If you have extra templates lying about, then of course you could use my guidelines, but otherwise you can just go ahead and put them on how you like. Just sort of move it around. If you want them a little farther apart, one more up, you make it yours. So put it where you like it. And then we're just going to take a piece off. And again, not loads of glue. And then put it back on where you like it. Last one for this side. There we go. Now, hopefully this is dry. We're now going to trim it out. So we're going to go really, really close. In fact, err on the side of trimming a little bit of the black. So we're going to trim like that all the way around. And when you get down here, the hole punch will cut this. So you can do that again if you want to, or else just use your scissors. If you are doing just one side, then you're done. If you are taking it to the next level, then we're flipping it over and we're going to attach that like so. I'm going to glue on this just because this is thin and this has got a little bit more room, but I'm being very careful to stay off the inside there. Okay, and then you want to make sure you've got it going the right way, which is why I suggested we flip it over. And thankfully, whoopsies, thankfully, glue stick gives you a little bit of play time, so you can move it a little bit and it won't be a big problem. Excellent, I think that's pretty good. And now I'm working on a nice light surface so that I can see the placement for my features. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to make sure that I place them first so that I know that I've got them going the right way. And then I'm going to lift them up and put some glue on. So there we go. Looks awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this craft, and I hope that you can make your house look really spooky. So if you did enjoy this craft, please give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. And thanks very much for joining me today.